I'm Ethan Carter, 29, MRI technologist in a Tennessee hospital where emergencies don't look like they do on TV. No shouting, no chaos, just quiet panic and tight control. You learn how to stay steady while everything underneath you starts to crack. That skill didn't fail me the day my family erased me. It was December, cold, the kind that settles into your bones. I was halfway through a 5-mile run when my phone buzzed 3 times in a row. I almost ignored it. I should have. The first message was from my father. "We sold everything in your room, bed, desk, all of it. Got $800. Your cousin needs the space. If you want to come for Christmas, bring $3,500 cash. We need a new living room set. Otherwise, don't bother. Locks are changed." I slowed, then stopped completely. My pulse was still racing from the run, but something colder started spreading through me. Then another message. My mother. "We told church you ran off with some rich girlfriend and abandoned us. Everyone knows now. If you don't help us, we'll tell them what you did last Christmas." I stared at the screen. I hadn't done anything last Christmas. Then my sister. "Neighbors already think you're on something. Want us to confirm it?" The wind cut through my damp shirt, but I barely felt it. What I felt instead was wrongness, like I'd stepped into a version of my life that had already been rewritten without me. This wasn't random. It was planned. They hadn't just sold my things. They had built a version of me that deserved it. I didn't go home. I turned the car and drove somewhere they never expected me to go first. My grandmother's house. Her porch light was on before I even turned into the driveway. It always was. She used to say, "A lit porch lets the right people in and makes the wrong ones think twice." She opened the door before I knocked, took one look at me and said, "What did they do this time?" I handed her my phone. She sat down and read every message slowly, no interruptions, no reactions at first, but I watched her change. Her shoulders straightened, her expression hardened. By the time she finished, the room felt heavier, like something old had just woken up. "Say it out loud," she said. So I did. I told her about the room, the nights I stayed after long shifts, the things that mattered. And when I mentioned the watch, the one she'd given me when I passed my boards, she closed her eyes, just for a second. Then she asked, very quietly, "Do they remember whose house they're living in?" I blinked, because that was the truth no one ever said out loud. The house wasn't theirs. It never had been. 11 years ago, after my grandfather died, she let my parents move in. Temporary, just until they recovered. Temporary became permanent, rent became optional, and over time they started acting like staying long enough meant owning it. My room used to be my uncle's office. The nursery they were clearing out had been her sewing room. Everything in that house had a history. None of it belonged to them. She walked to the hallway cabinet and pulled out a slim blue folder. Inside was everything. Property records, notes, missed payments, conversations written down in careful handwriting. Proof. Quiet, patient, undeniable proof. "Call Marcus," she said. "You're not handling this alone." Marcus had been my closest friend since we were 17, the kind of guy who didn't question evidence when it was right in front of him. He showed up fast, with takeout, a legal pad, and focus. We built a timeline. Every message, every threat, every detail. We backed it all up. Then I made a list of everything that had been in that room. Halfway through, I had to stop, because it wasn't about the furniture. It was about the fact that they had erased proof that I belonged there, that I had ever mattered there. At 6:14 p.m., my phone rang. My father. I answered on speaker. "What did you tell her?" he snapped. No hello, no hesitation, just fear trying to sound like authority. I told the truth, I said calmly. He exploded, blame, deflection, noise, but it didn't land the same anymore. You sold my property. You changed the locks on a house you don't own. You demanded money. You threatened lies. Which part do you want me to make sound better? Silence. Then scrambling. Then my grandmother took the phone. Her voice was calm. Too calm. You have 30 days to vacate my property. Formal notice comes tomorrow. You will not remove another item, and if that watch is gone, you can explain it to an attorney. She hung up, and something shifted. For the first time, the fear wasn't sitting on my side anymore. The next morning, we went back, not alone, not unprepared. Daylight made everything look smaller, even them. My father tried to explain, my mother tried to cry, my sister tried to provoke, but it didn't work, because this time the messages were read out loud, no interruptions, and when the full story filled the room, it sounded exactly like what it was. Not family conflict, not misunderstanding, something colder, something intentional. 2 days later, a neighbor sent me security footage. I watched it 3 times, not because I needed to, because I needed to understand. There they were, loading my furniture into a trailer, laughing, and my father's voice clear as anything. Sell the good stuff first. He won't fight. He never does. That sentence didn't break me. It explained everything. They never relied on love. They relied on my silence. We found the watch in a pawn shop 1 county over. He'd sold it under his own name. That mattered. Proof always matters. When I held it again, something in me finally settled. Not healed, but clear. A week later, he came to my grandmother's house, knocked like a stranger. When I stepped outside, he looked smaller than I'd ever seen him. "Ethan, please," he said, "just explain this to her. Tell her it got out of hand. We can fix this." Not apology, not remorse, just panic. You could hear it. "You want an explanation?" I said. He nodded. "You thought I needed your house. I don't. I just needed to stop being afraid of losing it." He had nothing after that, because the version of me he depended on was gone. That Christmas was quiet. No tension, no conditions, no performance, just a table, a few people, and something I hadn't felt in a long time: peace. Here's the part that still feels like horror to me. Not what they did, but how normal it used to feel, how easily I accepted it, how long I stayed quiet. Because some families don't break loudly, they rot slowly. They rewrite you piece by piece until you don't recognize yourself anymore. And the scariest part? You don't notice it happening until one day you stop asking to be let back in, and everything they built, it collapses, because it was never built on love, only access. And once that's gone, there's nothing left but the truth. And the truth doesn't whisper, it waits. And when it finally speaks, it sounds exactly like you.